Jamie, Jeb. My memory only goes to 4 names, so if I meet you later on tonight, I apologize. I will not remember. My name is Brian. How's everybody doing tonight? The music performers, you guys are awesome. That was very impressive. My musical talent extends to driving. AM, FM, I can do DVDs on the car, which a lot of kids can't do. CDs, I got it. I'm a representative of the 1980s. Any Gen Xers out there? Gen X, huh? The greatest generation. Kids today, you guys, if you see a Gen Xer, you should thank them because we were the guinea pigs of World War III. That's right, there has been a World War III. It was the war on drugs, and it turned me into a crackhead. It's okay, calm down. You don't have to grab your purse. It's not contagious. I am in full remission, which is good. But Gen X, in the 80s, the material about drug information was kind of like Nancy Reagan, just say no. And as a 12-year-old, I was like, just say no to what? To Tylenol, because Tylenol's a drug. Sugar's a drug. Penicillin, should we say no to penicillin? So the information coming in was a little off. So I decided to do some investigating, for science. You're welcome. Right? I dove into smoking. First thing was smoking, right? They said smoking was bad, but in 1984, everybody smoked. My childhood heroes were the Marlboro Man and Joe Cool. Right? They had the little starter kit, the gum cigarettes with the little, you blow the sugar out. Everybody thought it was fun to get a kid to smoke. It's like, look at the kid, he's got the cigarette, the smoker starter pack. So I went to Marlboros. Disney characters, Cruella de Vil, remember her? She smoked. Disney will not put a smoker in the movies nowadays, but back in the 80s, that was like our role models. So I decided to do some further investigating. I was 12 years old. My dad said I could go to a wedding. Right? At the wedding, everybody was drinking. I said, hey, Dad, that looks like fun. You said I can't drink, but it looks like everybody's having fun. Can I have a sip? He said I could have a sip. Didn't say how many sips, right? So 300 sips later, and I became the hero of the wedding. My sister, all her 16-year-old friends were hanging out with me. I had my tie around my head, the whole Rambo thing going on. And I was like, wow, this is awesome. I don't think they know what they're talking about. Right? Next drug, moved on to marijuana. Now, I got to be honest, back in the 80s, marijuana was lethal, right? They said it was just as bad as crack, just as bad as heroin. Vegas had a billboard that said you get caught with pot, 20 years in prison, right? That's what they were telling us, and then at 16, I tried it. My buddies would grab a couple joints, and I went to a construction site and bounced off of a fence for 2 hours. Right? So I was like, hey, this really isn't that bad. Next to LSD. Went to a party, took some acid. My friend's dog turned into a monkey. Not that bad, right? So I was like, you know what? They told me you smoke crack once, you're hooked for life. They can't be serious, right? Turns out they were serious, right? Should have listened to the crack, right? Should have listened to that tip, right? But, there's some celebrities out there. We got some famous people, right? Whitney Houston, she was a famous crackhead. Didn't make it, right? Bobby Brown, another famous crackhead, he made it. Anybody ever hear Scott Weiland, Stone Temple Pilots, lead singer, right? Didn't make it. I know that guy. Yeah, he didn't make it, right? Robert Downey Jr. made it. Charlie Sheen made it, right? So don't feel bad, right? China's got that tiger blood, right? So don't feel bad, because crackheads have this amazing ability to never give up. I don't know if you guys know crackheads, but they can go forever. Like day 5, and I'm still like, my kids are like, how does he keep going? Crack. So don't feel bad, right? There are definitely worse diseases to have. On a serious note, though, I don't know if anybody loves an addict, but addicts are coincidentally superheroes of the planet. True, right? AA was made back in the 30s, right? Founded in the 30s. Well, you know what else was founded in the 30s? Jerry Siegel. Founder of Superman, right? Superman comics. 1933, they started putting them out in 1936. Eerily coincidental to when AA founded, right? So I'm wondering if Jerry had an alcoholic in his family. Maybe he had an addict. Here's what I've learned, folks. Addicts, they're very similar to Superman. I really think Superman would have sold a lot of more movies. Maybe if it wasn't kryptonite, maybe Superman smoked crack. Right? I mean, he's a superhero unless he has that crack. Have you ever seen Superman, right? Kryptonite gets there, he's like curling over. It looks very similar to an alcoholic going through detox. Right? So, but here's the miracle, guys, is those people, if they can get away from their kryptonite, I mean, I grew up spoiled, right? And crack took me in the worst places. Like I was homeless, I did 6 years in prison. I was in inpatient rehab for 48 months. 48 months of locked in a rehab. So I don't know if anybody's experienced rehab before, but after college, I got a PhD in rehabs. I know what I'm talking about. I'm waiting for an honorary doctorate. I feel like, Betty Ford Clinic, Hazleton, somebody's got to offer me one. Maybe not University of Florida, which is where my alma mater. I got my party degree. Figured that was good. So if you love an addict or you are an addict struggling, just know there's a way out. It only takes, a couple things. Need to change everything. That's it. But whether you are California sober and you drink wine and just pot, or Colorado sober and it's just pot, there's Vancouver sober, just meth. Just know there is a way out. There is another life, and I love you guys. My name's Brian. Appreciate it.
Everybody for Brian Push, ladies and gentlemen. Brian, welcome.